Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to read all the verses again real quick this morning. Matthew 5, and we'll begin with the Beatitude, verse 3. Before we do that, I just want to say that we bumped up our number to 33%. As you can tell, we have a few more chairs in here. Now we can be 97. And we just say that to affirm that we're trying our best to be good stewards during this season of the unforeseen, unseen enemy, the COVID-19, the coronavirus. We are grateful when we had the celebration of life. We had masks available. They had a meal. It was served. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause to all the ladies from the church that did a great job serving for that. And so we're doing our very best to be mindful. There's hand sanitizer at a number of different locations throughout the church. There's even masks available if you need to use one of those, if that makes you more comfortable. And we've got the chairs spaced out now. The online audience can't see that, but we do have only about 55 chairs in the sanctuary, about 40 chairs in the fellowship hall. And so our capacity currently is 97, or up to 97 people. And so what a blessing that we have this great facility. Whoever felt like this would be a great way to lay out a church, what a blessing. Who would have known that we would have needed this type of arrangement for right now? So what a blessing. We can keep our social distancing and be able to have as many people as possible in here, which is a great encouragement. This is our 6th in-house gathering since March. Last week was our 17th online broadcast. And so here we are starting the second half of 2020, streaming in the parking lot, Facebook Live, and so much more. And we're just excited about what God's doing. All right, with that in mind, I'm looking at Matthew chapter 5, beginning at verse 3. I'm reading it from the New Living Translation. God blesses those who realize their need for Him, for the kingdom of heaven is given to them. God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. God blesses those who are gentle and lowly, for the whole earth will belong to them. Verse 6, God blesses those who are hungry and thirsty for justice, for they will receive it in full. God blesses those who are merciful, for they will be shown mercy. God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God. Verse 9, God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. Verse 10, God blesses those who are persecuted because they live for God, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. And number 11, God blesses you when you are mocked and persecuted and lied about, because you are my followers. Be happy about it. Verse 12. Be happy about it. Be very glad, for a great reward awaits you in heaven. And remember, the ancient prophets were persecuted too. Now this morning we're going to hover around verse 7. So let's just read it from the King James Version. I've already read it to you from the NLT, but this is what it says in the King James Version. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Let's just take 30 seconds and pray one more time for today's message. Jesus, thank you. Holy Spirit, enlighten me. Open the hearts and the eyes of those receiving, whether here or online. Thank you for your word. It's a lamp unto our feet, a light unto our path. We are grateful today that we can gather, break open your word, share it, and may it change our lives in an eternal way. In your name, amen. So this is part 3 of Prayer Changes Me. And the last two weeks we've talked about verses 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And in verse 3 we talked about blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And we'll just really quickly, just for a few seconds, talk about the verses that you might have missed if you weren't here the last couple of weeks. The first step to understanding what Jesus is saying is to know what he's not saying. And that verse does not mean that you're financially poor, but it truly means that to be poor in spirit means that you empty yourself of self. You've died to self. You realize you have nothing to offer God other than what He has to offer you. And the greatest biggest place of revelation, according to these scriptures, and from what I see, comes from an intimate walk with God, and the best place for that to take place is in prayer. Verse 4, God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. The term mourn means to experience deep grief. Before we can pray about the depravity of other people, we must allow the Holy Spirit's lamplight to search our hearts. See if there be any wicked way in me. An enviable state of blessedness comes from those who mourn over their own sin before they mourn over others. Because we can always see the faults in others so much quicker than we can see them in our own life, can't we? Come on. When we agree with God about how bad our sin is, and we repent of it, and we seek His power to walk away from it, Jesus promises comfort from His Holy Spirit. And man, that is so wonderful when you feel the peace of God. Amen? The peace of God that passes all understanding. I just heard someone share about that last week. They said, man, I prayed, and the peace of God came over my life, and it was supernatural. Isn't that wonderful? Verse 5, God blesses those who are humble, for they will inherit the whole earth. Now, in the King James, it uses the word meek. And the word meek sometimes has negative connotations. Excuse me. Negative connotations attached to it. Even Jesus talked about that He was meek and lowly in heart in Matthew 11:29. But remember this, Jesus, this meek man, was also the same one who stood before the Pharisees and overturned the tables of the money changers, and He never backed down from calling them a brood of vipers, did He? You whitewashed sepulchres, and so many other interesting uses of the language. Meekness, and remember this, meekness and timidity are opposites. They're not the same. Here's what I left you with about meekness last week. Divine nature, the nature of Christ, is two-sided. It is quiet when it is fitting to be quiet, and it can boom like the sound of thunder and lightning when it's fitting to do so. Remember when He stood before leaders and he didn't utter one word. And even, we know that from some of those passages, He could have called down a legion of angels, couldn't He? Meekness is not timidity. Now, the sinful nature, the nature that we deal with, is just the opposite. The nature of man, it also has two sides too. It is boisterous when it should be quiet, and it is quiet and timid when it should really cry out for righteousness, when it should really cry out for justice. Sometimes we shrink back. We're chicken. Because we don't want anybody to know how we stand on things like traditional marriage. That's a bugger of a deal right now in the world. That's a tough one even in the church. You mean you should be able to love the one you want? Well, according to the Word of God, it's Adam and Eve. According to the Word of God, that it's a man and a woman. According to everything I see in the Word of God, that's the plan. Now, the world has ideas, but we know that the world's ideas sometimes do not line up with the Word of God, do they? Verse 6, blessed are those which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. And we talked about what John Piper had to say about the structure of the Beatitudes. Let me just read it again, because it's so good what John Piper said about the Beatitudes in these first 4 verses we've been reading. They are beautiful and good in their proper place, but they are not yet the richness and fullness and overflowing activity of goodness that we long for. And so isn't it natural that following these first 3 Beatitudes, the Lord would say, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, who long to be filled with righteousness. In other words, we see who we are, we sense our depravity, we sense the things that only God can do for us, and then we cry out to Him and say, oh God, fill me. Fill me like only You can. And so we blend together those thoughts with, I read a big long passage last week. I'm just going to read the last 2 sentences of what I read last week from our Stillness of God Fellowship about the whole idea of righteousness. And this is what it says. Further, if we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. Because we know that our righteousness is as if filthy rags, the Scriptures declare. Thus, believers are assured, listen to this is so good, Believers are assured of the provision of God to strengthen and forgive them as they struggle with temptation and sin, never needing to doubt their salvation, which is based upon the righteousness of Christ accepted by faith. We are imputed righteousness. We don't have a righteousness of our own. We get it because we have Jesus. Amen? We are transformed. We're changed. And so hungry and thirsting for righteousness is needed because we only receive it by faith. And we must walk in holiness. We did talk about that for a few minutes last week. There is a difference between righteousness and holiness. They seem to be similar. In some ways they are similar, but holiness is what God expects from us. That we avoid sinful behavior. But it's not just avoiding sinful behavior. You know what holiness also is? It means that we act out holy behavior. See, sometimes we think of holiness as what I shouldn't do. No. Holiness is what you should do. The way you think of people. The way you pray for people. The way you encourage people. The way you bless people. That's part of holiness. Here's one more thought from John Piper before we get into our verse today. After pronouncing a blessing upon those who recognize their emptiness and grieve over it, and don't try to justify themselves, Jesus now makes a transition from the emptiness that our last verse talks about to fullness by saying that hunger and thirsting for righteousness is also a blessed event. It's to be envied. That you as believers understand the only way you get more of Jesus is by desiring to have more of Jesus and hungering after him. Amen? And believing what the Word of God says, because prayer changes me. It changes us because God is faithful. So here we go. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And we're just going to hang around this verse for a little bit today, because this verse is so important. When this beatitude addresses those who will show mercy, listen to me, church, this is what it's saying. It speaks to those who have already received mercy. I learned a long time ago the difference between grace and mercy. Right? Grace is when you get something you don't deserve. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve, like punishment. Right? The mercy of God. It's the mercy of God that we are not consumed. It is mercy, listen to this, based on all, that's why I kind of really quickly highlighted the verses we already have read, because now we're going to tie it all together. It is mercy to be emptied of your pride and brought to poverty of spirit. Because you realize you're really not much without Jesus. We kind of think sometimes big of ourselves. I even have an ego. And it gets in the way. What? No? Well, my wife says, no, I'm perfect. Amen. 35 years later, I got her fooled. No, I don't. It is mercy to be emptied of your pride and brought to poverty of spirit. Why is pride such a bad thing? Because it's what brought the devil down. See, the devil, Lucifer, was one of the three archangels, wasn't he? And pride was found in him. A haughty spirit, the scriptures talk about. It is mercy to be emptied of your pride and brought to poverty of spirit, knowing I'm nothing without Jesus. I have nothing to offer unless Jesus fills me with what only he can. Now, he does give us talents, but for us to brag that somehow, we did it on our own, is such foolishness, such pride. And we need to walk humbly before our God. Amen? Humbly before him. It is mercy to be brought to mourning over your spiritual condition. It is mercy to receive the grace of meekness and to become gentle. It is mercy to be made hungry and thirsty after righteousness. The one who is expected to show mercy is the one who who has already received it. Let's talk about some areas in our lives where mercy should be existing, where there should be clear evidence that mercy is part of our nature, because we fall under the grace of God. We fall under the mercy of God. We want to be like Christ, amen? We want to be a reflection. We want to be an image bearer of the Son of God, right? Is that what you want to be? Now, of course, when I'm rooting for the Vikings, I want to be an image bearer of the Vikings. And God bless Don Colberg, because he had the right team. Amen. And I'm not just talking about the Vikings. I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about the Vikings. Enough said about that. You know I'm joking there. Come on now. You know I'm trying to see if you're paying attention. But we're supposed to be image bearers of the Lord Jesus. I wish we were as fanatical for Jesus as we are for the Green Bay Packers, or for the Minnesota Vikings, or the Kansas City Chiefs, or the New England Patriots, or whatever your team might be. Or if you're fanatic about going bow hunting, or you're fanatic about fishing, or whatever it might be, and you know all the lingo, you know all the stuff, you're an expert, you can talk the talk. So, because we're image bearers of the Lord Jesus, mercy should be expressed and seen in our lives. Because it's going to happen, church. We are going to run into conflict. We are going to run into situations that bother us. They get us frustrated. That cause our marriage to have tension. Cause our to be disappointed in our children as they're growing up. Lots of things, right? The merciful one will show it to those who are weaker and poorer. Now, before we get into these, I'm going to actually jump ahead in my sermon, because I really think it's important that you catch this thought. So I'm going to flip a couple pages here. Actually, I don't even need to flip a page. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right spot. As I was thinking through this sermon, this is the thought that God left me. He said, this is the most important thought you need to tell the people this morning, whether you're online or here at the sanctuary or at the fellowship hall. This is the most important takeaway from this message this morning about being merciful. Mercy, and stick with me, because I don't want you to say, oh, that's not true, Pastor. So just let me build this out, okay, before you negate it. Mercy can only be shown to those who we can effect or impact or have an effect on. Listen to me again. Mercy can only be shown to those that we can impact or we have an effect upon their life. In other words, what I'm saying here is that those we have influence on, those we have any kind of authority over, those who are under any kind of spiritual authority, or even your children. That's probably the greatest expression, or your spouse, where mercy should be evident. Because for you to have mercy towards somebody we see on the television that's halfway around the globe, and you're angry with them because they're doing something that's wrong, and you feel, you want God to help you, because maybe you've got bitterness or anger, or they're doing something to Christians. Like, we pray regularly here for the persecuted church. And it's easy to get riled up about that, or about sex trafficking, right? It's easy to get riled up about that and to be angry at those people who do that. But really, the fact that we might forgive them and have mercy towards them, it has no impact on them. Now, for Jesus, it does, of course. And we want to we don't want to have malice in our heart towards anyone, like Abraham Lincoln said, right? No malice. But the place where mercy is at its epitome for us is the people we have effect on, the people we have impact on, our spouse, our children, our family, friends here at the church, or your extended family. Those are the people that need to experience the mercy of God that only you can give them. So I ask you, when's the last time you expressed the mercy of God to anyone that you have impact on or effect on? Because you need to. Because Jesus did it for you. It's easy to point out people's faults. The merciful one will show it to those who are weaker and poor. The merciful one will always look for those who weep and mourn. The merciful one will be forgiving to others and always looking to restore broken relationships. That's why we're going to talk more about blessed are the peacemakers. Amen? Not peacekeepers. There's a big difference between, my dad. I love my dad, but I'd say, Dad, well, what do you want for your birthday this year? And without exception, you'd always say, peace and quiet. Like, there's too much turmoil, just give me some peace and quiet. That's all I want. I want to get away from any kind of conflict. There are a lot of people that run from conflict, right? They get out of there, they get out of Dodge. But I'm telling you, there's something profound about being a peacemaker. And that's why mercy and peacemakers flow in the same group. It's so important. It's so important. The merciful one will be forgiving to others and always looking to restore broken relationships. The merciful one will be merciful to the character of other people and choose to think the best of them whenever possible. And I can tell you that in this one right here, I have failed miserably at times. Anybody else failed miserably how you thought about other people? I'm telling you, stinking thinking can rule the day. And I can look at somebody and they haven't even said a word to me, and I'm already going south on what I'm thinking about that person. You mean I'm the only person that thinks that way? Really? You guys think that way too? Wow. So what do we do? What do we do to help ourselves to overcome some of these issues like that? Where we have bad thinking about something like, oh, I know what's going to happen with that person. That person's going to walk in here, they're going to be larger than life, they got a huge ego, and now I don't really even want to talk to them. I'd rather just leave or ignore them. But what if it's the day that God wants you to minister to them? What if it's the day because they walked in and maybe they've just had a terrible situation with one of their children or their boss, things went south. What will you do to extend the mercy of God? The merciful one will not expect too much from others. Boy, that's so true. Sometimes, let me back up. So, in my ministry time, I think I've done about 25 marriages. And in premarital counseling. Matter of fact, it's one of the things I share with every single couple that I'm doing their premarital counseling. Matter of fact, I'm doing premarital counseling for Marina and Jordan. I'm excited they're going to be getting married in September. Whether it's Marina and Jordan, or it's Luke in Georgia, whose wedding I did last year, or it's the people whose wedding I did 25 years ago. I've said the same thing to them because I learned it from good sources. That listen to me now, unmet expectations derail marriages faster than just about anything other than finances. Unmet expectations. In other words, we already have this idea, we already have this image of what the man should do, what the wife should do, and we can broaden that beyond marriage. We can say what the employer should do, what the employee should do, what the children should do, what the parents should do, right? We have these unmet expectations. And when they don't take place, it's painful. The merciful one will not expect too much from others. In other words, we grant grace and mercy to anyone, especially our spouse, especially our children. The scriptures tell us, especially as fathers, we're not supposed to embitter our children, are we? We're not supposed to exasperate them. We're not supposed to be so heavy-handed on them. They're going to fail. They're going to disobey us. Now, when it's willful disobedience and it's repetitive, I believe there's some corrective procedures for that. But we still do it. We still do those things with grace and mercy because we want the best for our children's lives. Amen? We want the best for our neighbor that's sideways. We want the best for people. Don't you? Does anyone here want someone to burn in hell? Come on, let's not. I mean, you might be angry at someone. That might be a momentary thought because they betrayed you, they hurt you, whatever. But you got to get over that. Because Jesus got over it. And so he expects us to get over it. Did you hear me? Jesus got over it. And he was betrayed more than anyone. And he got over it. He expects us to get over it. The merciful one will be compassionate to those who are this one's tough, who are outwardly sinful. This one's tough. Because there is a fine line between enabling people who are living in sinful behavior and always open their mouth and say, yeah, you should not do that. You shouldn't do that. You're sinning. You're breaking God's heart. You're going to ruin your life. You're disobeying the Word of God. Now, sometimes those are the right things to say, but you cannot browbeat people to death with those sayings. You have to allow the mercy of God. You have to say, there go I, but by the grace of God, that could have been me, right? You know, and it's interesting that I'm sharing this message today, and our daughter is only a few days away from, well, she might have it today. Seriously, she got a baby today. And if she called right now, I'd just say, goodbye. I think I would do that. I just kidding. But my wife might leave. And her mother and father-in-law might be right behind. But anyway, so, now I got sidetracked because I was silly. Lauren, when she grew up, she was the sweetest could be. She's still sweet. But, you know, there was a season in her life where she went sideways. And I was mad. I was. She knew better. Because she has a godly mother, a godly father. She had godly influence all around her. And yes, there were some people that were mean to her from our church, our previous church. And those things all affected her. And so she got into drugs for a while. And I was angry because I knew she was doing it. And it caused tension between Janet and I. Because I wanted to put the hammer down. And Janet was always so gracious about the whole thing. And, you know, just like a mother hen. And to a fault. And, but you know what we both agreed upon? Because the mercy of God kicked in. We said, Holy Spirit, you alone have to change your heart. We can't say anything anymore. And we had to save room for God to work in your life. See, if you're always barking, you don't save room for the Holy Spirit, for God to do what only He can do. And she came home one day and she said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm going to go into Teen Challenge. We didn't even have to ask her. She did it on her own. That's the mercy of God. And we need to make room for the mercy of God, for people in our life. A lot of times we've become judge, jury, and executioner. We've got to step back from the brink. We've got to let the mercy of God. And the merciful one will be compassionate to those who are outwardly sinful. I'm not saying you agree with it. Do you think Jen and I ever agreed with it? We cried ourselves to sleep sometimes. Sometimes I couldn't sleep.
The merciful one will have a care for the souls of all men and women. You see, because Jesus changed our lives and has affected us in such a powerful way with his grace and mercy, who are we to hold back from any of this? I love what Roger Albanese would say to me. He says it to me all the time. He says, Joe, you don't want your worst enemy to end up separated from God for eternity. You don't. You want that person to get right with God. You want that person to get right with God. Amen? Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. If you want mercy from others, especially God, then you should take care to be merciful to others. It should be a priority of your life. I mean, let's look at we don't have time to go into the scripture and look at it, but think about King David as we kind of wrap it up this morning. Here's a man after God's own heart. And he is, in some ways, he's the epitome of mercy as a man. Because who was constantly on his heels? Saul, King Saul. And he always showed deference to King Saul. He's the man of God. Don't strike him. He'd even do things to say, look, Saul, do you see how much I respect you? I could have wiped you out, but I didn't. And we see it throughout much of the life of King David, how the mercy of God was expressed in his life. But interesting, now here's the beauty of God, and here's the beauty of mankind, and here's the beauty that helps us, it gives us some balance, because sometimes we think, well, how can I ever live up to the life of David? Well, guess what? Don't forget, he's also the same David who was so conniving that he had Uriah, right, sent to the front line, knowing that he was such a faithful man that during the war he'd get killed so that he could have Uriah's wife for his own. Pretty bad deal. That's our King David. That just shows you the gravity and the span of man, how at one moment he could be so merciful. That's why we got to walk close to God all the time. Because prone to wander, the song says. Prone to leave the God I love. Man, that's mankind. We're prone to fail. Because we have a sin nature. That's why we so desperately need the mercy of God to rule and reign in our heart. Prayer changes me because God's mercy has changed me. Let me ask you this morning as we close. Has God's mercy changed you? Do you appreciate God's mercy even this day? Even though you might be angry at your spouse, might be angry at your neighbors, might be angry at your employer, might be angry at your employee, might be angry at somebody that's done you wrong. Does the mercy of God on this 12th of July, 2020, have great weight in your heart and in your life? Because it should. When you think about the protesters and all the things and some of the people who've gotten out of control, even in Minnesota and points beyond, and all the craziness, does the mercy of God rule and reign in your heart? Because it's easy to let anger control us, amen? It's easy to let things that are beyond our control. So let's take authority over the things we have control over. You know what you have control over? The mercy of God that can flow in your life. How great that you would be when they lay you to rest, as we lay to rest Don Calder, that it be said that Joe Duncan, he was a godly man. He flowed in mercy. He was kind to everyone. Amen? Don't you want that to be said about you? We want to leave a legacy. Oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful. Amen? May the power of our devotion light the way and lead the way. Amen? May the footsteps that we lead them to believe, right? Amen. We want mercy to be a key factor in our life. So I encourage you today, blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Let's pray. Jesus, thank you today Thank you, God, for the opportunity to gather here this morning. Thank you, God, that we want mercy to flow in our life. We want it to flow because it flows in your life to us. That we avoided death. We avoided eternal separation. We avoided the judgment of God because of your great mercy, because of your great grace. We received something we didn't deserve. We avoided something we did deserve. And so we're thankful today for the mercy of God, and that mercy flows in our lives this morning. Thank you for your word. Thank you for the Beatitudes today. We thank you that they have application for us in 2020. And for those who are listening online and those gathered here at Hawthorne Assembly, we say, Holy Spirit, search my heart. Search my heart, Holy Spirit. Help me. Help me to let go of things that I can't control. Help me to let mercy flow in a greater way. Help me to share mercy. Help me to show mercy. Help me to extend mercy to others in my life. Those I have influence over. Those I can affect. Those who I have control over or leadership over. Help me to show mercy all the time. In Jesus' name, amen.